Late, huh?
All right. All right, buddy. Well, welcome to the Monday training. If you're in here for the first time, welcome. I know we had some new team people join us recently, so hopefully they came on. If not, I got you recorded. So I will be posting. I haven't posted last week's yet. That was basically going over the HHS, how I do it, how I just basically walk through it step by step. But today I wanted to go over maximizing your business because what I don't want people to do is think that there's only one way to run their business. Like we're successful with HHSs, but that's not the only thing that we do. There's a combination of things that we do in order to be successful. Number one is we treat it like a real business and it pays you like a real business. So, keep that in mind is that, it's not a hobby or a project and it's not just something that you do on the side. If you put it first, like when I was cooking, um, I used all the burners on my stove. So I used all in the restaurant, I had like, I don't know, 20 burners and a couple ovens and stuff. So when I'm on a busy Saturday night, I was using everything, right? So that's what we want to do with our business. You don't want to just use one burner, for your business. You want to maximize everything that we have. So I want to go over some of that with you today. Of kind of how to fill your funnel with people and go out to meet new people and expand your sphere of influence, because that's really what this business is all about. And then the best way to grow your business. Look, one thing that we have with Vollara that a lot of companies don't have is the ability to do both wholesale retail as well as doing, you're building a team, right? And so a lot of companies out there, you can only do, you can focus on one thing, right? So a lot of companies are really built around team building with auto ships and things like that. And then you just pray to God that nobody falls off and or you're constantly filling your funnel. And then there's some businesses that are really built around wholesale retail only, where if you're not out there on a daily basis building that funnel full of contacts of where you can actually go sell the product, you're kind of done, right? The issue with our business is you're looking at a high ticket item, so you need to have a combination of both, because and our products are guaranteed for years and years and years. So if all you focus on was one aspect, so let's say all I did was wholesale retail and all I focused on was selling Air and Surface Pro. Well, every time I sell an Air and Surface Pro, it's kind of like selling a house, where if I'm a real estate agent and I sell a house, guess what? I sold the house. That customer may not come back to me for never. You know what I mean? So like once I've sold it, I've spent 6 months selling, I cash the paycheck. You may never hear from that person, ever again. Now, some people go through houses like they go through cars, every 2, 3 years they're buying a new one. But in this case, you really don't need another Air and Surface Pro. What you're gonna need is a cell or just some, minor replacement parts. Even for the water, if you buy a water unit, you maybe need filters and things like that. So if you only focus on one area of your business, then you're not really maximizing the full potential of this opportunity, right? So that's why, like, when people start my business, I like doing the Pro Pack, because obviously you're getting air, water, and laundry. And that's the initial hit, right? That's the biggest play. But then you also have consumable products, which once people start to use things like Essentials for Life, Resist, Recoup, Perfect Start, and Keto Zones, if you just did those 4 things in a month, think about what type of a team you could build on. Like if your team all just focus on those 4 items, right? Did I do 4? Right? No, it's maybe 5. Essentials for Life, Resist, Recoup, Perfect Start, and Keto Zones. That's 5 items. Imagine if everybody on your team just was using those five items on a monthly basis. How it could change your bottom line, right? I mean, for us, we have 18, almost 1,900 people on our team. If you took 1,900 times 200 points every month, what type of a team would you have? That's not selling major items. It's not people going out selling Air and Surface Pros or anything like that. So let's just do the math. If I had 1,900 times 200, it's 380,000. Did I do that right? 1,900 times, I don't get it right, 200 points. Yeah, 380,000 points. All right. So, I mean, that's a lot of volume that could be driven through somebody's business. Now let's say you, well, that's 1,900 for you, Mark, but I only have 100 people on my team. I only have 50 people on my team. So just take it and do the math. So that's why it's important that when you start a new person, you introduce them to subscribe and save and getting themselves activated. Okay. So, you know, like, look, you're in your first 6 months period. In order to be active from month number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all you need is 100 points or a subscription. And I've had people who started with me on Recoup, and they've been on Recoup now for 2 years, every month Recoup, you know. But the only problem with that is they're out of their 6 month period and they're only getting 15 points. So then they have to buy some other things. But what I saw is that they're not just buying it to buy it. Like, I don't go to their house and they have like a whole closet full of Recoup. They're actually using it because they like it. Keto zones, man, I tell you what, they're not cheap. You know, you're looking at $5 a pack. I believe that's what it comes to, is about $5 a pack, because you get 20 for around $100. So let's say it's $4.50 a pack. So every day, if you, like me and my wife, are taking them, if we take them daily, it's $10 a day investment. That's $300 a month. If you think about that, that's a lot of money for one item, right? But if I see a sale where it's buy 2, get 1 free or something like that, I'm going to stock up and get like a 3-month supply or whatever of that product. Because why? Because I like it. Because I feel the difference. If I start my day with just coffee versus having a keto zone, it's like night and day, right? So I'm thinking better, I'm moving faster, you know, it's like my body's reacting differently whenever I'm on keto zone versus just drinking caffeine, right? Or whatever. And so, like, I know that that product works for me. Same with Perfect Start. You know, Perfect Start's not cheap, right? So if you look at some of the bundles and packages that you can get to reduce your costs, you know, last month I bought a bundle of vitamins. And so what I'll do is I'm gonna do a quick screen share with you guys. I'm gonna go through my back office, or I'll go through a back office. And not restricting my, all right, I'm gonna go over these rewards here in a second, but let me just jump over to here. Okay, so look, if I go into orders, new order subscription, okay, and I want to go into nutrition real quick. And well, let's go into bundles and packages. Now, my son actually taught me this thing here. So like, if I just hit bundles and packages, it opens bundles. And you see the first thing you see is Active Pure. But if I hit the down arrow on it, which I never saw this before until he showed me, it opens up technology or nutrition, which I had never seen that. Maybe you guys saw it. I've been in this business 2 years. I never saw it, thanks to a 9-year-old. Now I know it's there. So the first thing is this, I got this last month, this healthy living bundle. And what you look at, I mean, yeah, it's $400 and, you know, whatever. Now, if I go to more information, it's what you get is like a $600 and some value, right? So you're getting Perfect Start, Keto Zones, Essentials for Life, a Resist, a Reflex, a Royal Essentials, Healthy Slips. I think there's maybe 2 healthy slip packs in there, and then Revive. Okay, so that's the healthy living bundle. Is 250 points, and it's $417. So this is a great bundle. Even if you did a bundle like this every other month, this thing is amazing. So you're getting a great deal of product for the best value that you can get it at. Okay. Let me just go here real quick. Let me just see what we got going on. So, okay, now if I come back over here, there's other bundles like 12 packs of Revive and all these different things. Now here, I like Perfect Start. Here's 5-pack of Perfect Start, $331. It's 125 points. So if I needed to get 100 points for the month to be active, this is another great starting point. Okay, so you can actually do that one. That's a great one to get started with. So let me just see what I got going on here. Just gonna mute a couple of you. So anyways, that's another great one you could do. And then let me just go back through here. Resist is a good one. People like the 4-pack of Resist. So I don't know about Royals Essential. That's a lot. 12-pack of that. I mean, that would last you a year. But either way, a 12-pack for $438 is 225 points. If that's something that you're using, why not get it, right? But I like the healthy living bundle. just because of the volume that I'm getting of product and then the point value of it. Okay, so that's one thing. Next, if I go into my product specials, I always like to check that out, because here's a great way to get, you know, a lot of product for less value, for less money. So here, what do we got? Looks like 4 plus 2 on replenish for $132. Now, that's only 60 points though. So I don't know if I'm, and if I need replenish, this would be a good one to buy because of the value. All right, so I gotta mute you. I caught into like a warp there. So anyway, here, let me just see who's unmuted. Muted yourself, you mute. There we go. Mute you. Just check your lines, make sure you're all muted out there. So the ocean in the background. That's very nice. Okay, that's Keith. We'll get you muted, Keith. Okay, cool. All right, sorry about that, guys. So anyways, just a few things. Now, that's just nutrition, okay? So nutrition is a great way to, you know, to build that monthly residual income stream, but it's not just about doing it to do it, guys. Either you like it or you don't like it. You know, it's like, I love Dr. Troy whenever he presents our vitamins. Like if you haven't heard the Zoom call that Dr. Troy did a while back on each item, and it was so good. I learned so much about our products, but what I love about how he does stuff is he always says, it is so loud, that's funny. What I love about Dr. Troy is he always says, this is what you need. If it's not through Vollara, you need to go get it. Okay, so look, if you don't believe in our products, you should still be using these vitamins and things because your body needs it, right? So, I mean, I say use Vollara products. Why wouldn't you? But you still need it, right? So I have friends that are on vitamins. I was talking to a lady yesterday, and she's like, oh yeah, I use CBD cream, but she's not using ours, right? So now my job is to try to get her to switch over to use our product and show her the value of it. Maybe they don't know that I carry it, right? Maybe I haven't done a good job of telling people that. Okay, so anyways, that's one way of doing it. The next thing is through doing like personal sales, because if you mix in some personal sales with your team building and with your auto ships and things like that, then it starts to build a more well-rounded team, right? Now, hey, they're not easy to do. I mean, I'm just being 100% real with you. Obviously, you know, people's spending habits have changed in the last 6 months and, you know, whatever. I mean, it is what it is, but I can tell you what, I'm still selling, you know. So this is funny. Yeah, somebody had their phone off of mute. But anyway, so, you know, when I go out and do a show, it's not always going to be easy, but I tell you what, and I could guarantee you this, if you set out to do some wholesale retail and you book some shows and you work your leads, you're going to get sales from your shows and you're going to get sales from your leads. Okay. So you got to think about this. You know, are you trying to get wholesale retail sales? You know, are you even trying to do it? Now, some of you are, and you're diligent about it, and you're booking shows and you're going out and you're doing things, and maybe you've had shows that haven't been successful, but that's okay because it's really not you. But I've seen people I just talking to a girl yesterday who invested in a show, drove to a different state, did the show. She only sold 1 mobile unit, but she's doing HHSs now remotely because of leads that she got from her show. So she's maximizing her efforts. Okay. I mean, I've done shows, I've gotten stacks of leads and I've given out leads to a lot of different people. And are they following up on it? You know what I mean? Some are, because I see I'll talk to them and say, yeah, I just had so-and-so call back from the show we did back in March and they bought a unit from me. You know, it's because they kept persistently following up with leads. I mean, I keep leads. I send them emails. I call them. You know, these are people who could potentially want to buy, but what about the ones who already bought from you? I mean, I've had people call me back to say, hey, I was at one of your shows. I bought an air and a water. And now I'd like to buy a laundry from you. That's wholesale retail, right? Now, I'm not saying go out and knock on doors, but do some fun things like with social media. You know, don't list it on eBay. Don't put it on Amazon. That's kind of the easy way out. But do some fun stuff with social media. Like I made a short, and it's really easy to do. You can go on YouTube if you have a YouTube channel, and you click the plus button, and then you can add a video. So if you make a 15-second video, I think shorts are limited to like 15 seconds. So if I took a 15-second video of living water, just running, you know, and then I put some music on it, you know, just be creative, you know. I think I did that song like "Give Me Some Water" or something like that from Eddie Money, and then you put like you know, some things, hashtag living water, blah 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 blah, and then in the comments, you know, or in the description of it, put your link to your website, you know, different things, maybe put your contact information, how to reach you. And on that one video, I've had almost 2,000 views of just the living water sitting there running. Okay. So 2,000 views on a YouTube short with, it's just something I just popped up there. Now you could do the same thing with your laundry pure, right? Go to your washroom, get out your cell phone, take a video of your laundry pure, and then take a video down into your washing machine, and then come up with a cool song to put as a background, put a little hashtag, you know, no chemicals or chemical free, whatever, post it, right? Maybe you do a Facebook short, you know, they have the shorts and then they have like the reels. Maybe make a Facebook reel, you know, of you doing this kind of stuff. And then you maybe even talking about it. Do a quick Facebook Live. Hey, listen, I'm going live. And I'm going to tell you about how to be an eco-friendly house. If you want more information, inbox me. Okay. So these are things that we can be doing to kind of get out on the wholesale retail side. Okay. So that's number two. So number one, you have, you know, obviously you need to be on a subscribe and save. Look, I can see everybody's numbers. I go down through the list. I know a lot of people don't ever buy nothing, right? So, I mean, there's not you guys, but I mean, out of 1,800 people every month, they don't buy anything. So it's like they're waiting. It's like they joined the business, but they're waiting for something to happen, but they're not willing to do anything themselves, right? So I can see the ones who are actively working their business. Now, some people obviously will wait, you know, they'll say, oh, if I don't have any downline activity, I'm not going to buy the product because they, you know, they don't want to spend the money and if they're not going to make the money, but then you're not really a product of the product, right? So you're only buying it out of obligation. But what I say is don't do it like that. You know, buy it because you love it and because you want to use it. All right. So you got wholesale retail. Now, hey, we just were talking before the call about that hearth, you know, the new hearth that came out. And let me just do another quick screen share and I'll jump into that real fast because that's something else my son found not too long ago. So Gianni was on the website and he goes, hey, Dad, check this out. I think it was under more. So if I go into more, okay, right here is your safe hearth. Now it's $329 is our cost. You see right here, it's right next to Steady Power. $329 is our cost. They sell for about $550. It's 125 PV. So this could fulfill your point value for the entire month. With this one item, it's only $329. Now, you know, hey, could I get 100 points cheaper? Maybe, but not for this type of a value that I could turn around and sell. Now, what I like about this is if you go through it, it reduces contaminants while heating your environment. Now, listen, you do not have to use the heat. Okay, so I live in Florida. It's 86 degrees today. I'm not gonna run a heater. Okay, but in Pennsylvania, where it's 42 degrees today, or whatever the weather is right now, maybe you want to use that, right? So it's either way. And what I like about this is it is active pure. So if I go into more details, I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. So everything you have, you can click more details for. Okay, so you can see here, you can see your features over here. Okay, it has the heating element, it has auto shut off, dual purpose timer, it comes with remote control, it has a soft coating on the grate to prevent burns, runs quieter than a furnace, adjustable heat levels. Look at this one, uses exclusive active pure technology. Okay, it has a clean washable filter. Internal fan made of metal components for long life. Includes full functioning remote control and options to run. So this is a great product. And when you get into the specifications, you'll see here that it's good for 1,000 square feet. Okay, it weighs 23 pounds, has a 3-year limited warranty, has a tip over feature, active pure cell. Okay, so think about this, guys. Here's an item that you could get. Now, look at the retail. Now, somebody asked me they texted me, said, how come whenever I open it up, it says $529? It's because when you click on more information, it takes you into the front office. Okay, so anytime you click more information, that $529 is the front office. Okay, so if you go back to the back office, you see it's $329. So that's a $200 profit on a safe hearth. But for your own personal use, it's 329 bucks. I think this is something that, I mean, hey, why not have one for your inventory? You know, it could be something that you could easily sell, especially if you're living up north. If you know people who are, you know, trying to warm just one room. But on top of that, you got 1,000 square foot device for only $329. It's a great value. Okay, so that's another wholesale retail option for you. Okay, so let me come back here. So how many of you knew about the safe hearth? Now, I've been mentioning that now since we found it 2 weeks ago, but maybe you didn't even know that it existed. Like I didn't know until my son got on his back office. He's like, Dad, you know, look, he actually went on my website and signed up risk-free. So he has his own back office, you know, and he actually made a sale, so go figure. But it was his grandma, but so what? He's very consistent and persistent, wants to make some extra money. But yeah, Dave, it's cold, so we could be out selling the safe hearth. So anyways, that's two ways now. Okay, so you're not limited just on HHSs. You can do wholesale retail, and even at an HHS, you can do all these things. You can wholesale retail. That's right. Not till you mentioned it. Yeah, it is very interesting. So that's from Barb Eaton. Very interesting. Not till you mentioned it. Great. Okay, so next, what I'm going to talk to you about to maximize your business is recruiting. Okay, team building. Now, right now, the company is doing this massive incentive for two things. One is for HHSs, and number two is for recruiting. Now, listen, in order to be an HHS, you need so many guests, right? I think it's 4 guests. You need a certain point value for it to count. You need all these things, right? You need points. So even if you're wholesale retail, let's say like Dave, I know Dave's got a lot of inventory. So let's say Dave does an HHS at his house, right? And he sells out of his inventory. He's not going to get any of the rewards unless he reorders the product, right? So that's kind of like, what's the point? Now, look, if I need to make an extra $2,000-3,000, I'm going to have an HHS and I'm going to sell all my inventory. Okay. That's an option for you, but you're not going to get any of the rewards for it. All right. Just so you know, because there has to be fresh ordered points. Now you can replace your inventory. You can sell your inventory, replace it. That's fine. But you need fresh points coming in order to count as an HHS. All right. Now, the company now has done this sponsoring incentive, which I'm going to screen share once again. I'm going to jump back over to this. This is for your personal sponsoring. Okay. So what I love about what we're seeing here is that the company now, there's a pilot program October through December where you can personally sponsor someone. And when that person in the course of that month hits, or it doesn't matter if it's a person, let's say you sponsor 5 people and accumulatively those 5 hit a 750 point value, you're going to get a free mobile unit. Okay, at 1,500 points though, you're going to get a free mobile and a free Air and Surface Pro, guys. So if somebody joins your business today with a 5-pack, the company is going to send you a free Air and Surface Pro and a free mobile. Now think about this. If you do any wholesale retail, there's inventory now that you could take to a trade show. If I took those 2 items to a trade show and I sold them both, let's say I sell the Air and Surface Pro for $1,000 and I sell the mobile for $250 or whatever. that are 200. So now you're looking at, let's say 250, oh, whatever, who cares? So let's just say it's $1,400 profit that literally cost me nothing. So most shows cost about what, $1,000 to set up a table. You just covered the cost of your table selling those 2 units. Now, if you can get into a cheaper show, like it's 500, you just made some profit. Now check out at 3,000 points. You could have 2 people join your business, or 3 people join with or 2 people with a pro pack and maybe somebody with a 3-pack. That's three rewards. You're going to get and this is a cumulative thing throughout that month. You're getting they're going to throw a laundry pure in 6,000 points. They're going to give you a laundry. They're basically giving you a pro pack or a whole house protection. You're getting 1 air, 1 laundry, 1 water, and a mobile unit. Okay. So you can earn this over and over and over again. There's no limit to what you're doing here, guys. So what I like about this is now the company is really starting to focus on team building, where before their focus has always been on wholesale retail. Most of our incentives, even on the HHS incentives, have been focused on retail sales. And they've neglected to focus on the team building aspect of it, which I've been saying this since day one. The greatest product that we have to offer people is the business opportunity. And look, if we don't make a mental shift fast, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out, because if all you focus on is wholesale retail right now, people aren't buying anything at a full value. They're just not. I mean, look, I'm out there, we're out there in the real world. I sell tiramisu, right? So I do it to, a few restaurants here in Florida, and it's just I could go full steam ahead with it. I just haven't. But my wife and I used to sell tiramisu, and I think it was 17 states or 11 states or something like that, right? And so what I've noticed is when I go out, if I'm in like the Restaurant Depot buying product, man, there's shortages of everything. And then the price has gone up on everything, right? I mean, I use eggs and cream and different things like that. And when you look at some stuff I can't even get, I'll go to the supply house and they just don't have it. It's like, hey, so sorry, but there's a shortage right now. We can't get egg yolks in. Right. I mean, well, I guess the chickens are just making white eggs. I don't know what the heck's going on. Right. But that, and then it's like the cost of the cream's gone up. They said there's a butter shortage coming. What does that do with Vollara? People's buying habits are starting to change. Why? Because things are getting tight. So as the money gets tight, then if I have an option of spending $1,500 for 1 air and Surface Pro, or spending $2,000 and getting a whole house protection, or whatever, $2,660 and getting the Pro Pack, I think I'm going to go for the $2,660 and get a Pro Pack, because now I can protect my entire house and reduce my cost. But on top of that, I can now own a business where I can go out and share this with a few people and make, even if it's an extra $1,000 a month, it could be a game changer for somebody, right? So think about that. If you could have somebody join your business and just bring in for themselves personally an extra $1,000 a month, and you can teach them, guys, listen, all you have to do is do a HHS, sign up a few people, or retail one of your Air and Surface Pros or whatever. If you sponsor somebody, the company's going to give you free product. This is how you can go out and sell some of your product. So now you've maximized your earning potential, because it's not just focused on wholesale retail. Now you're starting to build a team. As you begin to build a team and you put more team players into your team, you never know who's going to be a rising star in your team, right? And so look, you guys are my faithful few who are on this call every week. Now, a lot of people can't get on here because of the time of it. People say, Mark, can't you do this at 6 o'clock? And no, I'll just record it and you can watch the replay. And I know on average, we get 40, 50 replays on YouTube whenever I post them on YouTube. So there's about 50 of you guys who are like plugged in, watching these calls, who are on the Tuesday night call, on the Monday night call, the Tuesday night call, the Friday opportunity calls with Mike. You're getting on the trainings. There's a handful of you who are really plugged in. So imagine if I didn't kick the ball to your upline, right? Because somewhere along the line, somebody sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody. I know like Dale and Ruth are like on my, I don't even know, 7th, 8th, 9th level, right? So if I wouldn't have kicked that ball to that person who kicked it to somebody, who kicked it to somebody, who kicked it to somebody, I wouldn't have somebody who's dedicated like them on my team, right? Wouldn't have it. And so the reason why I have it is because I focus very early on team building. Okay. And then it's spread out to where, there's people like Lisa Martino who's on my team, but I didn't personally sponsor her. Or like Barb, who's on my team. I didn't personally sponsor Barb. Now, I did personally sponsor Dave, but there's some of you that are down depth that I maybe never even met, but you're on my team somewhere, somehow. You've ended up on Team Integrity, right? Through a series of events, you're there, okay? And so that's what I want you to think about, is the reason why is because I maximize my earning potentials. How did I maximize my earning potential? I did it by not just on wholesale retail, but team building. Okay. So as you start to pull all these pieces in together, right, you'll have a more robust, well-rounded team, right? If you're only focused on one product and you're only doing it one way, you're going to limit yourself to your success. Okay. So all I'm asking is that you open up your thought process, right? And now listen, here's the deal. People, get yourself out there where people can see you. Okay. Don't hide and expect people to knock on your door. So you have to be visible. You have to get out there. Look, I hate with a passion. I hate it. I hate to even say the word hate. Doing trade shows. I don't like it. Right. To me, it's just like, they're such a drag for me. Right. Cause I just don't like the hours and dealing with people and all that stuff. I mean, it's just, it's not my favorite thing to do, but I do them, and I do them as little as I possibly can. So let's say I do 1 or 2 a year, 3 a year, 4 a year, whatever. As a good one comes up, and listen, I get calls every day from promoters who want me to do their shows. Okay. Look, if you live in Oklahoma, let me know. I'll hook you up. Right. Oklahoma, I get calls almost every week from a trade show in Oklahoma. Okay. I'm not driving to Oklahoma to do a trade show. Okay. But I make myself visible. And when I'm at these shows, it's funny because I have people who, like the guy in the booth next to me, who's been next to me now for like 4 different shows. At this time, he's just like watching our HHS video the whole time because this show was dead. Like nobody was coming through. But here's the guy in the booth next to me, glued to my TV set, watching the HHS that we recorded here in Florida, right? And then he starts asking a bunch of questions. He hasn't bought yet, but you know what? He's going to, because every time I see him, we get one step closer to closing the deal, okay? Why? Because I became visible. People know that I'm in the business. Same with your social media. We spend time on Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's another good one, okay? And so you don't, like, what I don't do is this. I don't go on LinkedIn and post like, here's the link to my website, and I hope that somebody clicks on it. Okay. What you do is you build relationships. Like I had a guy the other day who runs an ice cream shop, not just one, but like a national chain of them. Okay. And he's like a vice president of this massive ice cream company. And they go in, I think his region is like 10 states or 6 states or something like that. So I just said, hey, I love your ice cream. Every time I'm in the area, I try to get some, whatever. Just a quick message to the person. And then we started dialogue back and forth. Well, thank you so much for being a customer, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, the guy hits me up. Hey, do you keep your options open for making money? It has nothing to do with ice cream. Well, of course I keep my options for making money. Right. So then guess what? Hey, can we talk on the phone? Now he's reaching out to me. This guy's working LinkedIn to try to recruit me into some network marketing opportunity. I mean, it's out there, right? So he hits me up and he tells me what sector he's in and what he's doing. And I know the industry like the back of my hand. So I said, look, I've been involved in industry since I was 18 years old. I have conflicts of interest, so I can't just jump into what you're doing. I know that you're getting started. But and then I'll give him and I'll say, listen, I landed in this company called Vollara, and this is why I'm here. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, but that was good during the pandemic, when well, first of all, we never had a pandemic. Okay. We had a lockdown. Let's just get that straight. There was never a pandemic because people weren't dropping dead in the street. Okay. It was a lockdown. So we got to get that part straight. Second of all is that nothing has changed because I never focused on the pandemic, right? I focused on air, water, laundry, nutrition. I focused on allergies, asthma, mold, dust. Okay. I could have cared less about COVID-19. Okay. So I didn't focus on the pandemic. But then I told him, I said, you know what? Schools have money, right? Schools have CARES Act money that they have to spend. Churches are still looking to put this. I mean, I just saw a post from a guy the other day. He said, I just met with my pastor the first time since the lockdown. Are you kidding me, man? We're like 2 years out. He just now meets with his pastor. People still live in fear for whatever reason. Okay. So that side of it never went away. So anyways, he reaches out to me and I said, oh no, man. I said, business is good. Numbers are still good. Teams are, we're still growing. I never focused on the pandemic, but here's what I will tell you. And I just tell him a few testimonies. I was just in Vail, and I talked to a guy there who made one connection with a school, made $4 million. And he's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. And then there's somebody up in Chicago made 1.1 million on another deal. Listen, my friend, you are the vice president of a major corporation that has ice cream shops all across the Northeast. Don't you think that adding this into your shop will increase, the safety of your customers and blah, 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 blah? Could be a good fit for you, right? This all came from a LinkedIn, me just going on there and messaging somebody to say, hey, listen, I love your business. I love what you do. In fact, as I said, do you guys ever consider Active Pure for your stores? And he said, nope, probably don't, probably never will. You know why? Because he don't even know what Active Pure is, right? He probably thinks I'm selling Purell or I'm selling, hand sanitizer. Okay, so he quickly, boom, no, I'm not interested, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't just ditch him and move on to the next person. I continued the dialogue. And then so that's it. I mean, so you make yourself available, make yourself visible to people. Let people know that you're at it. Like, hey, I just told you guys I sell tiramisu, right? Most of you probably didn't know that. I used to own 2 restaurants. So, we won awards for tiramisu. I started Christina Maria's tiramisu. We used to sell in 3 states, and then 3 states became 11 states. And I was in national distribution, and we were in grocery stores all over the country, and then I closed it up. And then a year and a half ago, I say, let's open up a shop. Let's do it again in Florida. But most people don't even know about it. Why? Because I haven't gotten it out there. I haven't been posting, hey guys, if you want to order your pumpkin tiramisu for the holidays, give me a call. I haven't done that. So how would I ever expect for somebody to just randomly call me unless they know that I do it, right? So the same thing with your Vollara business. How will anybody ever know that you have these products unless you're getting the word out to people? Okay, so how do you do it? It's being visible. How about this? Has anybody looked into, maybe just make a post that says something like, hey, just quick question to all my Facebook friends. Is anybody using CBD salve? And what brand do you recommend? And just like I'm not pushing my own product. I want to get feedback from people. What brand are you using and how much does it cost? Okay. And then because as soon as you post something like that, everybody's going to be hitting you up. Maybe you put a post that says, hey, all my Facebook friends, I'm looking to cut down on chemicals in my laundry. What are you guys using? Can you hit me up? Let me know. Right. And then you're going to have people coming in. Well, I use Draft and I use Tide Ultra and I use blah, 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 free and clear. Right. And then what it does is starts a dialogue now that you can go back to that person. You say, listen, why did you use that product? Well, because, I have a skin condition and I can't use these chemicals. Or my kid has an allergy. And every time we watch so maybe ask the question and then and why do you use it? And just on a quick poll. to all my Instagram followers or whatever. I mean, I don't know what you guys use. So, and if you're not using something, just get on it, right? So you start a dialogue where you're asking people for help. Like I joined groups on Facebook. One of them I joined was Airbnb groups. Okay. And so when I joined my Airbnb groups, I don't own an Airbnb, but I joined an Airbnb group and it's in Florida. And but what I see is what are people's needs? What's the biggest needs for Airbnbs? Well, I'll tell you right now, the number one need is for cleaners. Every almost every day somebody posts looking for somebody to clean my Airbnb. Well, hey man, if you ever want to start a side business in South Florida, you could start an Airbnb cleaning business, you know, where you're going to clean Airbnbs. But then what I start to watch is what's the number one complaints of people? And usually it's people who smoked in their house, you know, had a huge party, they smoked, they spilled beer or whatever, and they can't get rid of the smell. And so now they're coming on there and they're saying, yeah, man, I got somebody just came to my house. They had this huge party. Now the place stinks and I can't get rid of the smell. What do you recommend? And all of a sudden, boom, everybody's hitting it. Well, I use an ozonator, right? We use ozone. We use this, we use that, right? So what I don't do is I don't post, hey, here's my link. I sell Active Pure. What I do is I personally message everybody who commented and the person who put the post up. So let's say, you know, Raymond puts his comment and he says, I use an old, whatever it is, I use Lysol, right? So then what I do is I'll inbox him personally and say, hey, Raymond, I just saw your message on the group, on the Airbnb group. I noticed when you have smells in your house, you're using Lysol. Do you find that to be effective to replace the smell with a smell? What's your results been like? And I'll start a conversation with him. Yeah, not really. You know, the only problem with Lysol, some people get irritated by it and it stinks really bad, but it does cover up the smell, or you use whatever. And then I'll say, hey, listen, what I found to be very effective for smell is a Vollara Air and Surface Pro Plus that not only has ozone, but it also has Active Pure. Okay, why do you need the ozone on those situations? Is because let's say somebody checks out of your apartment and you have 24-hour turnaround, I can go in, I can do exit room, nobody's in there, I can blast the place, and then I can run Active Pure, just Active Pure, while there's people there to reduce down odors and smells and allergens and stuff like that. Okay, so what I did was I didn't post it, because let me tell you something, guys, if you go on to a group like that and you post your link, they will run you out of town like on a stick. I mean, like literally, like you'll see people manifest, like it's like they'll come out with pitchforks and torches to throw you off of their site. Okay, and I've had it happen. I've been on sites where I've waited and waited and waited, and then I'll make a post, and boom, man, it's like, yo, all this guy's doing is he's on here trying to sell us stuff. You know, he's a bot, blah, 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 blah. And so you'll get ran off. But if you're inboxing people and you create a dialogue, don't just hit them with instantly. People don't want to be sold. Listen, guys, the worst thing you can do is try to sell somebody, because if they can smell it on you, it's like you're just this, you know, like it's like people, it's like you instantly put up a wall like this. Hey, I'm not buying. You know what, I get frustrated the most when I walk into like a car dealership, right? And I just want to look at some cars and you get hit by like 9 salesmen, right? Hey, you know, they're all trying to sell me something. The ones who I buy from are the ones who could care less. Like, you know, you have to go like ask them, hey, can somebody help me out here? I'm trying to look at a car. You know what I mean? Like, and they're all just sitting around talking, you know, smoking a cigarette or whatever. So when people want to do business, when they don't feel the pressure of sales, there's no sales pressure. Look, when I did door-to-door sales, I was like the least sales pressure guy in the world. My whole thing is like, listen, guys, I know you really don't want me on your doorstep right now. I get it. I'm not, look, If you want to buy, great, just say no. Like if you don't want to buy, please just tell me no, because I don't want to be here any more than you want me to be here. Okay. I'm doing a summer job. I need to make a couple extra bucks. Maybe you're interested in what I got, but you probably aren't. If you can give me a couple of referrals, that would be great. And what happens is when people don't think that you're trying to sell them, then the door opens up. Hey, why don't you come on in? We just sat down, we just finished dinner. I'm watching a movie, but let me see what you got, and then all of a sudden you're in somebody's house at 9:30 at night and you're closing a deal. Why? Because I didn't come in with heavy sales pressure to the person. Selling is meeting somebody's needs. You're always looking for it. Okay. So like we're up at my brother's camp and my son's there, and now my son really wants to make a sale because he wants to buy an Audi R8. Okay. So that car costs like $125,000. So he's like, Dad, I really want to buy an Audi R8. Well, first of all, you're only 9. So you have a few years to figure this thing out, right? Because you can't even drive it. And second of all, by the time you're 16, maybe you've moved on to a different car. But anyways, doesn't matter. That's what he wants. He wants an Audi R8. Okay. So we're up there and he's trying to hard sell my brother. Man, Uncle Bill, you really need to get a safe hearth for your camp. It'd be so much better than building a fire, all this stuff, because my brother heats with wood. So and he's getting more and more frustrated that his uncle doesn't want to buy from him. Now he's taking it personal and he's getting upset. You can see like the weight of the world's on him. Man, what's the matter, Johnny? Uncle Bill doesn't want to buy nothing from me. I was like, hey man, he's been my brother for my whole life and he never bought nothing from me. So like, just get used to it. It's called family, right? So I'm trying to teach him lessons and all this stuff. But then I saw how he shifted. And then he started to see that there was a need and he started to fill the need. Like my sister-in-law left the candle on top of the wood burner. Not a good idea. Middle of the night, the whole room fills up with smoke. And, they're all in there trying to clean up the wax and doing all this stuff. My brother's, freaking out. And my son's sitting there because he's sleeping on the sofa bed in the living room. And he says, hey, Uncle Bill, if you had one of our safe hearths, this probably wouldn't have happened, So he saw a need. His sales pressure went away and he planted a seed. And then he saw that they were using big jugs of water. And he says, hey, do you realize that we have a machine you can hook right up to your sink and you won't have to haul those big jugs of water in, and you can make it like spring water right out of your own sink. This is good water here. Why are you buying these jugs? He saw a need and he was fixing the need. Okay. So what you do is you watch. You don't try to be the salesperson. You try to help somebody. You try to fill their need. So in door-to-door sales, there was nothing better than when somebody's house was broken into in your neighborhood. So if I got assigned to your neighborhood and I'd watch the crime stats, I had an app on my phone because I sold home security. And man, if somebody's house got broken into, and it'd pop up. Last night we had a B&E on, whatever, Main Street. And all I would do, or there would be like maybe a whatever. I mean, just some craziness goes on in these neighborhoods. And it's always the ones like where everybody's like, oh, my neighborhood's so safe. And then all I would just say is like, listen, I don't know if you heard, but last night there was 3 cars in your neighborhood that were broken into. We have outdoor cameras that could really help your situation out. Look, let me just show you how affordable it is, because a lot of people don't think they can afford it, yada, yada, yada. And then that was my in. I wasn't trying to sell them. I was trying to save them from having to deal with a loss. Okay. So in this situation is when you find people, you can fill a need for somebody. It could be health related. Like Bill Hondos, whose house was full of mold. Debbie saw a need and said to Bill, listen, why don't you try out what I've got? I'll lend you a unit for 3-4 days. And if you don't feel the difference, that's fine, no harm, no foul, just give it back. Okay. So these are things that we can do to kind of like, to think outside of the box. I don't stop being a salesperson. First of all, make yourself visible. Okay. Let people know that you are in the industry. But when you're out there trying to approach somebody, it's like fishing, you're not going to go yell, or like I had a guy years ago, he says, you don't go to the park with a loaf of bread and yell bread, when you're trying to get birds to come. Because if you start screaming bread, they're all going to fly away. You just put the bread out. You just drop it out there, right? And what happens is then people, because they don't feel like the birds, they don't feel like you're trying to chase after them. They don't feel intimidated. They don't feel like they have a big target on their back because you're trying to make a living off of them. Then all of a sudden they kind of come walking over and they say, you know what? I've been watching you and I see what you do. And here's the deal. We've been having some major issues in our house with mold, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you another quick story about this. I was doing a trade show and there's another guy there who was selling like kind of ozone machines. They're called Triad. So anyways, this guy's selling this is a while back. But anyways, he's selling these machines. And then I cross over and I talk to this lady selling solar panels. And we're just talking, and then she says, so what do you do? And I said, I sell air sanitizers. And she's like, oh man, we bought one of those. And man, I couldn't stand the smell of it. We just didn't like them. And I said, oh, you probably bought one of those, the ones from that guy over there. Oh yeah, isn't that you? I said, oh no, we have Active Pure. We don't use ozone in our machines, and you don't have the smell. But is it going to be better? Well, of course it's going to be better. Here's the other thing: is we get a 3-year warranty. The one you bought had no warranty at all. Oh, really? I must have made a major mistake. I should have never bought that thing. Yeah, well, stuff happens, right? Well, halfway through the show, it's like a 10-day show. Here comes a lady, walking over to my booth. Hey, you know what? I'm here with my husband. Can you show us real quick what your machine does? Show her real quick, close the deal, made a sale. Okay. All I did was I'm looking for opportunities to fix somebody's issues, to fix your needs. That lady's already in the market. She wants an air sanitizer, but she wants it to actually work. Now look, I've had people buy mine. They bought a regular Air Service Pro, and then they were mad because they cooked fish in their house and the house still smelled like fish. And they wanted to make a return. Well, guess what? The guy with the ozone, which I could have easily sold him a plus, and I tried to upsell him to a plus. He didn't want it. Didn't want to make him. At that point, he was done with me. Hey, the guy that got the ozonator probably got a sale the next year because he saw it. Because this guy's going to be coming through and said, "Yeah, I bought one of them Vollara machines, and it didn't get the fish smell out of my house." And this guy's like, "Well, I got ozone. It'll knock everything out of the air." Guess what? He filled somebody's need that I missed the ball on. I missed the mark for whatever. I didn't know that was what his concern was. I thought he wanted clean air. I didn't realize he cooked stinky fish. And that was his number one concern. If I'd have known that, I would have said, well, you need to get a plus unit and run low level ozone to knock this odor out of your, if that's what he's looking to do, that's going to be the fastest way to accomplish what he needs. Okay. So anyways, be attentive, listen to people, listen to their needs, and then just and don't be bashful. Don't be like my son who's tenacious. He's 9 years old. He wants that Audi R8. That's what he wants. He's got his eyes set on it. He said, Dad, what do I have to do to get it? I said, well, you got about, what is he, 9? He's got, 6, 7 years, 7 years. I said, hey, save $20,000 a year and you can go pay cash for your Audi. I said, who knows what they're going to cost by the time you're that age? But I said, so what? I said, you could at least have a great down payment on it. Well, Dad, how do I come up with $20,000 extra a year? Well, you got to figure out a way to make it. You have to, sell some products, go out and sell. And I give them a strategy. If you want to sell Air and Service Pros, you have to sell 20 a year and take all the money and put it aside for your future car. But he's tenacious now. He sees that that he has a need. He sees what it's going to take to fill the need, and he's working towards that goal. Okay. So I'm going to close out with this because I got 4 minutes. I don't want to hold you guys up. Don't look at where you're at today. Don't look at your current situation. You have to see into the future of where you're going to be. Okay. When I do business training and I teach, our ministry's Proverbs 3 Global, I teach on kingdom business. I teach people how to be successful in business. And number one thing is always begin with the end in mind. When I started my tiramisu shop years and years and years ago, I saw it in multiple states. I saw tractor trailers. I saw pallets of product. I saw huge storage freezers full of product. I saw, and guess what? I started with one pan to one restaurant, making it in a little mixer in my dad's kitchen. Okay. And within a year, we had a facility. We were running pallets. We had tractor trailers picking up. Why? Because I saw it first. So when you're doing your Vollara business or any business you do in your life, begin with the end in mind. When I started my first little Italian deli where I had 30 seats on the corner of Chestnut and Main Street in Washington, Pennsylvania, I saw a bigger picture. I saw me fine dining, 200 seats, doing catering. And within 3 years, we were in a different location, 200 seats. We had a big outdoor dining facility. I was running catering. I had won the Great Chowder Cook-Off in Rhode Island. We were entering contests. We were winning. We were dominating in our field. I was working in Michelin star restaurants on my weekends. I did everything it took because I saw the end. I saw the end. Okay, so what does the end look like for you? Do you see yourself financially free? Do you see yourself, building a massive team? Do you see yourself fitting people's needs? Is this the vehicle that's going to get you to your dream? Is this the vehicle? Is Vollara the vehicle for you? If it is, you got to get in it. You got to turn the key and you got to floor it. If it's not, you got to pray to God and you got to say, God, what is my vehicle? And you got to get into that vehicle and you got to put 100% effort into it. You got to work it like your life depends on it. You give that business 3 years, no matter what it is, it could potentially pay you for the rest of your life. Look at the Vollara 5-year plan. If you work this with diligence for the next 5 years, who cares where you're at today? Oh man, Mark, I only had 75 points this month. Who cares? Who cares where you're at right now? I don't care. It's where you're going to be in 5 years from now. And hopefully you're here and we'll see you at the top. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. I hate to go all the way for 1 hour, but I did it anyway. I'll see you. Hopefully I'll see you next week. We do have a big conference at our church. So I'll let you know if I'm going to be on or not, but if not, I'll see you the following week and I'll definitely get a recording out to you.